We're doing really well here, Neil, and you?
Fantastic. And today's topic is melanoma. What
Yes.
is melanoma?
Well, it's one of the three kinds of skin cancer, and it originates in melanocytes, which are the pigment or color producing cells of the skin.
Is melanoma dangerous?
Absolutely, it's dangerous. It's of the three kinds of skin cancer, it is definitely the most dangerous.
What causes melanoma?
Well, I would say mostly, as many people would, UV light. That could be sun, tanning beds, and they are dangerous for the DNA in the melanocytes. So people with fair skin, freckles, light hair, they are at risk for melanoma.
What are the symptoms of melanoma?
Well, a melanoma can be a new mole, or you can have changes in an existing mole, such as size, shape, color, and irregular borders.
What does melanoma look like, and how is it different from a benign mole?
Well, a benign mole would have the same color if throughout. It would have smooth borders and um, is symmetric, whereas a melanoma would have irregular borders, irregular color, and it's not symmetric.
Okay, interesting. So that's where you kind of see some benign moles versus other moles, and you can tell the difference. So the coloring really looks different. Like, is it like a dark red?
What happens, moles or melanoma can be many different colors, all the way from blue, purple, pink, but the most common one is dark. And the thing about a melanoma is you'll have a little spot that's really dark, and then next to it, it'll be light, and then all kinds of different colors in it. So that's really the way it's different from a mole.
How do you diagnose melanoma?
Well, the best way is to completely remove the melanoma. It's, if you're not careful, I just have the nurse call for an appointment with the dermatologist. That can be 6 or 9 months later. So you really have to use a little leverage with the dermatologist. And the best way to get that is by doing an actual excisional biopsy.
What is the preferred method of treatment for melanomas?
Well, the best first and easiest treatment is surgical excision. And of course, to actually treat the melanoma, it's a wide surgical excision. So to biopsy, you just get around the melanoma, but if you're really going to treat it surgically, you have to do a much wider incision. You can, of course, depending on the stage of the melanoma, there's chemo. Immune therapy is something new, and I think it has promise. And then you have radiation for example, if you had several tumors in your brain, they'd probably start trying to radiate that.
What are the early warning signs of melanoma?
Well, we call them, there are five signs. We call them A, B, C, D, E. Asymmetry, which we've talked about, that is, one half of the melanoma doesn't look like the other half. You have irregular borders, which are blotched or blurred. You have color variation, uneven color. You have the diameter, which might actually be larger than 6 millimeters, like a pencil eraser. And then you have something called evolution, which is changes in the size, shape, and color.
Okay. Can you live a full life after melanoma?
Well, actually, 95% of people do live more than 5 years. 85% live for 10 years or more. I have a son who's had melanoma, and that was like 25 years ago, so he's still doing fine.
When should you see your doctor?
Well, if you're mole or you think it's a mole, changes in size, shape, color, painful, itchy, inflamed, bleeding, crusty, or a new or unusual mark on your skin that doesn't go away after a few weeks.
Does melanoma metastasize?
Yes, melanomas love to metastasize. They're extremely aggressive and extremely they like to grow. So and they like to go when they go places, they like to go after neural tissue. So brain tissue, tissue in your back, and actually your adrenal glands were originally neural tissue. So those are the main places that melanomas like to go.
Does cutting into the melanomas make it spread?
Well, yes, unfortunately. So when I did biopsies of these things, I always biopsied completely around them so I wouldn't cut into them. And yes, when you cut into them, they can spread by the bloodstream, and that will make a higher risk for distant metastases.
Where do most melanomas occur?
Face, arms, legs, and other areas exposed to sun. Certainly, the nose is a good spot, and also the top of the ear. That's another spot where that tends to be hit by the sun a lot.
Okay. Best place to go is worlddocallen.com and pick up Pregnancy Your Way, available today on Amazon. Thanks, Doc.